Some current and former Red Raiders are working together now to impact the Lubbock community with a recently launched app.
KCBD News Channel 11's Natalie Falkenberry tells us how this business venture went from a dream to reality.
We actually didn't have an idea when we first started. We just basically built our team and then let the idea come after that. So a little untraditional in that style.
That group started at Texas Tech when Mason Steele and Alec Hernandez pledged at Phi Kappa Psi. The two say they bonded over similar business interests.
Our relationship started just from both similar interests in the business world and loving startups. You know, at some point you just ask yourself, why not us? You know.
That is when Blueverse was born, an app targeted for young adults that gives customers incentives to leave reviews on local businesses, something the pair felt was missing in the Lubbock community.
We created a platform where, with your friends you're incentivized, and through the rewards as well with the businesses, to leave those reviews and just have a good communication with those businesses.
The goal of the app is to provide direct interaction between business owners and customers to help engagement and loyalty.
And our #1 goal is to drive customers through your door. And if we can end up doing that and create a value for you and create a value for the other person, that's what matters most.
Blueverse launched last Saturday and already has over 500 users. The founders say they are just getting started.
We want to set the precedent that, Texas Tech students can do just as big and cool stuff as any Stanford or Harvard student or anywhere else in the country. We can do it all right here, so go Raiders.
The pair says regardless of the future of Blueverse, they hope this encourages young Lubbock entrepreneurs. Natalie Falkenberry, KCBD News Channel 11.